Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's IPFW tip-off tournament final championship game between IPFW and St. Francis College of Fort Wayne. Tonight, we're going to start off by getting Dr. David Skelton, our athletic director for IPFW here, and to kind of fill us in, Dave, first on the sports day so far for IPFW.
Well, it's been a busy day today, Phil, starting last night with the beginning of this tournament. Our guys opening the season with a good victory. Then this afternoon, we were really proud to have our women's volleyball team come through with their second conference championship in 3 years. They had gone down to Northern Kentucky, played the finals today, and beat the host Northern Kentucky team 3 games out of 4.
Very good. Now, what's our team?
Out the total for 16. We're one of the 3 best in our region, and whether we all 3 get in or some other region draws 3, we don't know.
Well, with a 30-4 record the Arnie Ball has garnered this year, hopefully that will be good enough. If the 30-4 doesn't do it, I don't know what will.
Well, we'll just have to next year go 34-0, and then we'll be in. But I'm really hopeful, and things are looking good. We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed and see what happens.
Well, let's take a look at the men's volleyball team before we start talking about the men's basketball team this year. What's the outlook for the men's volleyball team coached by Arnie Ball?
It's another team, Phil, that we're very optimistic about some awfully good things happening this year. They get a kind of preseason start up in Canada right over the Thanksgiving weekend, and then really don't open their play until about mid-January and get underway seriously. But they have some awfully good returnees, some awfully good new players, and should be very strong, very strong.
How do you look at the basketball team, which opened their season last night with a convincing win over Rosary College?
Obviously, it's always nice to start out with a win. Our guys felt a little disappointed. They thought they could have played a little better in stretches, but an opening game is like that for most anybody. They played well, beat a pretty good team, a scrappy Rosary team from up in Chicago. Now they have the old crosstown rival tonight, St. Francis, in the championship game. We did have an injury last night. It was a little bit of a surprise. Dennis Williams hurt an ankle during the game, didn't say anything about it. Overnight, it's stiffened up on him quite a lot, and he'll not be able to play tonight.
That's too bad, because he is a promising newcomer for Tim Russell's team, and I'm sure they'll miss him tonight. Didn't he also have some ankle problems during the practice?
Early season practice, he had some difficulty. I suspect maybe he re-aggravated it. It doesn't appear to be one that will be a long-term serious problem, but it's aggravating right now.
Well, hopefully that injury won't hamper the chances of the Mastodons to beat their cross-town rival. St. Francis is an excellent team. They have really given us trouble even when we've won in the last few years.
Well, for years we've always had an excellent game with St. Francis. Many of those games have gone overtime. It's one of those that anybody can win. You just hope that you're in the right position at the end of the ballgame.
Well, it should be a good ball game, and they seem to have some height this year, even more than last year, Dave.
Yeah, they got a little more size. They've got a lot of good balance. Got a couple of good young ball players. So they'll be a tough team to beat.
Well, the athletic program that you administer here has really done a super job. We've gone into Division II NCAA. We've gone into the Great Lakes Valley Conference, which is one of the stronger conferences in Division II in the United States, and we've held our own. And as a result, I think you should be commended by the excellent all-around program that we have here at the university.
Well, we've been in this program upgrade for about 5 years. We feel we have made some significant strides. I think there's a few more yet to go. It's a tough battle, but we're still fighting it.
Do you anticipate that you might add any sports on either the women's side or the men's side in the next couple of years?
I would anticipate, Phil, probably we are at the level that we need to be, at least for the foreseeable future. We have 11 varsity sports. That's plenty for us right now. And we, as I say, one of our struggles is the resources and generating some income. And 2 or 3 years from now, if we've increased our coffers considerably, then we could perhaps look at some additional possibilities.
And a lot depends upon some of the lead sports, such as men's basketball, is to get a larger crowd out here. And we encourage all the fans in the Fort Wayne area and northeastern Indiana to come out and see the Mastodons during the season in their tough Great Lakes Valley Conference schedule, as well as the outside teams are playing, such as Wright State, which is always tough in the country.
Right. In fact, Phil, along that line, I haven't discussed this with Jim Cawthon, our sports information director and promotions man, but I'd like to make a special offer to everybody who might see this telecast. If they will call the athletic office at Indiana-Purdue and say, I saw your game on Channel 23, we'll see that they have 2 free tickets waiting for them at the next ball game between now and Christmas.
Well, you can't miss out on that, fans. There's 2 free tickets if you just call in the athletic office. If you didn't get the number, just check in the phone book and give the athletic office a ring on Monday. Just one final thing, Dave, before Mike Neely comes in here. I'm going to maybe have a few comments throughout the evening here about the Indiana-Purdue football game at West Lafayette this afternoon, so I thought I might just give you a little equal time if you want to plug IU before I plug Purdue the rest of the night.
Let me just say this. It was a thriller of an afternoon, one of those you can't leave till it's over. I hope our basketball game tonight is not of the same variety and that we're ahead and not quite as close at the end.
Well, I told both of our wives that they should have went with us because it's going to be a super game, but they chose to sit home and spend their money up to Glenbrook or someplace.
But one thing for sure, it's always fun to go to any athletic contest and to see that both teams are in it right up to the end. What more can you ask?
Yeah, it was a real good game. It was really, truly old Oaken bucket game that anybody there, and it was a sellout of close to 70,000. Saw a great game, whether they're rooting for IU or Purdue. And I knew before the game that IU was going to go anyways, win, lose, or draw. So my IU side, I didn't have to bad conscience on that because I could root for Purdue knowing IU was already going to go to the All-American Bowl at Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, I'm sure they're disappointed, but they also have to be proud of having an opportunity. It'll be a big plus for their program to go to a bowl.
It will be, and Bill Mallory's done a terrific job down there, and I just hope they can hold him and that he doesn't run off to someplace like Michigan.
And let's hope one of these days the Big Two and the Big Ten is Indiana and Purdue.
Right. Well, thanks a lot, Dave, for joining us, and Mike Neely's going to slide in here now.
My pleasure, Phil. Thank you.
Okay, Dave. Thank you. Dave Skelton, Director of Athletics at Indiana-Purdue Fort Wayne. Outstanding person and an administrator, and we certainly were glad to have him here. And now stepping in to do the play-by-play tonight is Mike Neely. How's things going, Mike?
Well, hello, Phil. I was just hoping you guys weren't arguing about the old Oaken bucket.
No, we weren't. We were very compatible. We were both there. We happened to run into each other outside Hovde Hall on the way to the ball game, and both had something to root for right up to the last second.
How about that Michigan-Ohio State game? That was also a good game in the Big Ten today.
Right. Michigan, I think, got helped by being upset by Minnesota, toughened them up a little, made them mad, and but they were lucky to win because Ohio State missed a field goal, although it was a long one that could have beaten them by one.
Right. Well, my wife's going to be down about that this weekend since she's an Ohio State alumni, but so be it.
Okay, well, what do we got going here? Can you kind of review the status of last night's games, Mike, between the four teams, or at least between St. Francis and IPFW, and how they won?
Sure. Last night's games, the first game between IPFW and Rosary College, some official statistics. Bruce Irwin was the top scorer for IPFW. I think he had a magnificent game, and I think the key to success this year on the IPFW team is going to be the play of Irwin inside.
I agree with you, Mike. He was really skying. I mean, when he wants to play, I mean, he's above that rim. And although he's not big physically, he's tall and jumps on it.
Right. I noticed last year he was somewhat hesitant with physical contact and not quite as aggressive as maybe Coach Russell would have liked him been. But if you take last night's game as prophecy, they're in for a real good year with Bruce Irwin. Also, last night in IPFW's opening round victory, the final score was 89-76 over Rosary College. Scott Reed poured in 14 points, and another high note for IPFW, Richard Ivey played sparingly 24 minutes, just a little over half the ball game, but hauled down 13 rebounds, and that Ivey is something else.
I think so, Mike. I think Ivey might be a key to our success this year. He had an outstanding freshman year, and then last year he was just so-so. He just wasn't quite into it. And I think Richard, when he wants to play, is as tough as anybody in this conference. And it's, I think it's kind of very important that he wants to play every time he comes out on the court.
Okay, and also Jim Moreland. If you're going to speak about IPFW basketball within the last 4 years, you've got to mention Jim Moreland. Jim Moreland is probably in the last 4 years that Coach Russell has had him the most solid player day in and day out, most consistent player they've got.
I agree with you. I think also if he has the total of rebounds he had, if you could find that. He went into the opening of the season yesterday needing only 25 rebounds to become the all-time rebound leader for Indiana Purdue at Fort Wayne.
Yesterday he had 7 rebounds.
He had 7 rebounds, so he's got 18 more to go, and he'll set the record. And I agree with him, Mike. He's been the most consistent player for the last 4 years. Truly a team ball player. Plays very hard off the boards on both ends of the court. And again, if he can come back and continue that consistency this year, it's going to be very helpful. What do we got on St. Francis?
St. Francis, yes, we've got last night's statistics. Honestly, I didn't think they matched up well with Lake Superior State. As a matter of fact, I thought Lake Superior State had the superior athletes, not meaning to be punished, but they've got a smart coach in Holstein, and he's a veteran coach, and they played intelligent ball, and I don't think they try to play above what they're capable of playing. I think that's the key to their success.
Yes, Coach Holstein is an excellent coach. He's a person, a fine gentleman, and he's a person that has the team play disciplined ball. And if they're going to make any mistakes, they're going to be very few in number.
Right. Although yesterday they did have 23 turnovers, but a lot of that had to do with the advantage athletically that Lake Superior State had over them. They forced a lot of turnovers, and I'm sure they just probably weren't used to playing a team quite that quick, Lake Superior State being a quick team, although they lost tonight, too, against Rosary College.
Yeah, but that was a tough loss for them.
Yeah, that was a tough loss.
Rosary beat them in overtime, 98-96. So it's a tough way to lose it. It was an excellent ball game.
I think the key to success as far as St. Francis winning this ball game tonight is going to be exactly what Coach Holstein has probably emphasized to them in the past, and that's play within your means. Don't try to do any more than you're capable of doing. And I think that team reflects the style of their coach, obviously. Jeff Weber, number 20, the sharpshooting guard, I think is a leader on the floor and probably is the key to the whole team, along with Matt Hicks. I saw the game last night. Matt Hicks scored 26 points, and he just played an extremely solid ball game. I was very impressed with Matt Hicks.
Well, I think they've got some extra height this year, too, that's going to make them very difficult. And they seem to be always tough against us, Mike. I mentioned that with Dave. They've won a couple games with us. One of them was last year. But even when we beat them, I mean, it was right down to the wire.
Right.
And so they get up. We're playing in a division higher than them, but they are well coached and they play inspired ball whenever they play us. Well, it should be a good championship game here tonight, and we appreciate Windsor Builders Incorporated for sponsoring this IPFW tip-off tourney. Well, we're about ready to go. Do you want to go through the starting lineups?
We're going to get to the starting lineups here.
And the Indiana-Purdue Mastodons. First, the starters for St. Francis.
For St. Francis, the starters.
At one guard, a 5'10" senior, number 20,
Jeff Weber, number 20, a 5'10" senior from Cincinnati, Ohio. At the other guard, Matt Hicks, 6'1" senior from Fort Wayne. Number 35, Todd Schmidt, 6'3" senior forward from Cold Spring, Kentucky. Number 44, Mark Schroer, 6'6" senior, or 6'6" sophomore that is, from Cincinnati, Ohio. And their center, number 34, Stan Snipes, 6'7" senior out of Fort Wayne. Head coach for St. Francis, Jim Holstein, and the assistant coach is Tom Jackson. And now, the IPFW Mastodons starting lineup. At one guard, 6-foot senior Scott Reed, number 20 from Terre Haute. Number 24, Bobby Marshall, a new addition to the team, 6'2" guard, a junior from Rockford, Illinois. Number 40, Richard Ivey, who had 13 rebounds last night, a junior from Muncie, Indiana. Number 32, Bruce Irwin, forward center, 6'7", senior from Dayton, Ohio. And their center, number 41, James Moreland, 6'6" senior from Kokomo, Indiana.
Well, Mike, they're
Head
about
coach.
ready to go. We're going to be playing the national anthem here in a second.
Right. Head coach Tim Russell for IPFW, assistant coach C.C. Fulov, and student assistant Mark Cook. Now our national anthem.
Mike, no disrespect for the flag, but our mic lines would only allow us to go up about 1
I just
inch.
about tore my head off when I stood up. Well, let's face it, this is the match that I think the tournament sponsors were hoping for to start with, and two Fort Wayne teams vying for the bragging rights of Fort Wayne.
You're right, and that's what they are, bragging rights for at least until they meet in regular season play.
It's always a battle when these two teams meet together, that's
Right.
for sure. Irwin and Snipes will jump it. And the tip goes out of bounds.
St. Francis.
To St. Francis, yes. That's Jeff Weber, sharpshooting guard. Playing patient ball right now. They're going to work for the shot.
IPFW in his zone.
That's Matt Hicks for the jumper. Matt Hicks, an excellent shooter.
He had a good night last night. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have the three-point play this year.
Irwin with a good pass to Moreland. Excellent pass by Irwin. Good penetration. Good bucket by Moreland. There's a turnover.
Scott Reed.
Reed's always there. And a turnover by Reed. Bad pass to Ivy.
Richard just jumped a little. I think he could have got it. It wasn't that bad. Won't put all the blame on Scott on that.
It's a lot easier from up here, let me tell you.
Oh, yes.
That's Tom Schmidt. Scores 4-2. St. Francis is up with 18:38 to go in the first half. Ivy with the missed shot. Rebound by Tom Schmidt. Pass to Matt Hicks. Jeff Weber slowing it down. Into Snipes. They're so patient, so patient.
St. Francis stays hot like this. It's going to drive IPFW out of their zone, 2-3 zone.
Right.
IPFW ball.
Bobby Marshall trying to get a pass inside. Moreland on the outside. Marshall with a move. Drives in the lane with a wild shot. Rebound Tom Schmidt. And here come the St. Francis Cougars. Score 6-2 with 17:33 left.
Good play by St. Francis. Even though Irwin tipped the ball still went in.
Matt Hicks always seems to be at the right place at the right time. Moreland takes a shot, gets his own rebound. Over to Irwin, good strong move, and he's fouled underneath. The foul's going to be on Mark Schroer. That's his first, the team's first. But Phil, St. Francis has jumped off to a pretty quick start here, 8-2 with 17:09 left.
Well, IPFW can't let them get too far ahead, Mike, because they're a good ball club, and
right.
They got to hang in there with them.
They're so patient. They'll run the clock down and take the shot that they want. Nobody's going to force them to take a bad shot.
You're right.
Irwin makes the first free throw. And he cans the second one. Scores 8-4. 17 minutes left in the first half. Over to Hicks again. Good defense by Irwin.
I think that was a good call. One off two Reds.
They're saying it went off Moreland.
IPFW in red, St. Francis in white. Blue trim.
Good defense by Irwin. Stuck his hand in there and got the tip pass. Recovered by Scott Reed. Irwin with a good strong move inside. And a rebound by Moreland, and he misses the shot. And there's some altercation here between Irwin and Mark Schroer. That's Mark Schroer, Stan Snipes, excuse me. There's going to be this a heated rivalry here.
St. Francis will take the ball out of bounds.
I think both these teams want to win this game bad to get this season off to a good start.
Well, they do. It's be a nice win for either one of them. They'll play hard tonight.
They're going to call the foul on Richard Ivy. Got him with the arm. Stan Snipes will be at the line shooting two.
Stan Snipes made the first one and the second. 10-4, Mike. St. Francis. With 16-12 left in the first half.
Reed with a good drive in the lane. Good pass to Bobby Marshall.
He was fouled.
I think Bobby Marshall's a good addition to this team this year, Phil.
I do too. He's a good leaper and plays tough defense. He's a team ball player, gets the ball in there. I think his shooting lacks a little, but I think that'll come as the season goes on.
Marshall cans the first one. St. Francis is up 10-5. There's 16:06 left in the first half. He misses the second one. There's a rebound by Stan Snipes. The ball goes out of bounds. Touch slash by Moreland. Moreland's always there.
Yep, Jimmy's hustling as usual.
For a big guy, he gets a lot of steals.
They list him at 6'7". I don't know if he grew an inch. He was 6'6" last year.
Good steal by Irwin. Good defense by the Mastodons.
And by St. Francis there. They cut that fast break off.
Moreland on the missed shot. Rebound, Mark Shore. Shore's got quite a few rebounds so far.
Yes, good boy.
Hicks with a shot. You can't leave him open.
No.
Hicks is deadly.
That's 6 points for him.
You just can't leave him open. Bobby Marshall fakes a shot. He goes up for it. Good move by Bobby Marshall.
Beautiful move.
Excellent move.
He looked awful good on that one, Mike.
That was quickness.
Yep, and good body control, too. Nice pass.
Good block by Irwin, and they call a foul. Foul called on Irwin.
Fouls
That's on Bobby Marshall. My mistake.
But did I tell you can get up above that line?
I thought that was Irwin.
He was skying on that play.
Marshall only 6'2", Irwin being 6'7". Looked like the hand of Irwin up there.
He was up there.
Number 15, Matt Hicks.
Up in nosebleed territory.
You can bet your bottom dollar Coach Russell was somewhat upset about that call.
Matt Hicks hits the first one.
And he cans the second one. Excellent free throw shooter is Matt Hicks.
It's 14-7. Favor St. Francis with 14:48 left in the first half.
It's Bobby Marshall at the top of the key. Reed takes a three-pointer. No, it's going to be a two-pointer.
Just gave them two, though. And Tom Schmidt comes back for two.
St. Francis gets back right away.
Tim Russell is mad about that. He wanted a three-point play.
Russell is extremely upset on the sidelines. I thought it was a three-point myself.
I look that way. They don't signal it. It's not going to be.
It's another shot with a...
He's got it that time.
That's got to be a three-pointer. Yes, it is. Scott Reed. He can shoot it from anywhere.
He got the three-pointer that time. Now watch the officials. They'll raise their hand like a touchdown's been made. That shows the fans watching that it's a three-point play.
Matt Hicks with a strong move inside.
Nice. He's got 10 points already, Mike.
Oh, he's lighting them up. Excellent player.
Sure is.
There's Ivy. Speaking of strong men, he'll clear him out when he has to.
Yeah, good move. Nice touch when he gets up there. He's got a nice touch for a big man.
Excellent touch. St. Francis is only up by 4 points now with 13:20 left in the first half. Good defense by the Mastodons. Snipes gets the rebound and puts it in. That was what you might call a garbage bucket.
Right. But by they all count, and he was there at the right spot, did a nice job off the boards, and so far St. Francis is doing better off the boards, Mike, than IPFW.
Well, I noticed last night IPFW Rosary College got more offensive rebounds than they should have, and just going to have to block out just a little bit better.
Moreland.
Tip in by Moreland off the missed shot by Bobby Marshall.
Good 2 points. Caught a block on Scott Reed. Block on Scott Reed. Charles Washington's in the IPFW lineup, and
Eric Wilson goes in as well.
Going in.
He's going in for Bobby Marshall.
Wilson, number 33, played at Northside, sophomore here at IPFW.
You know, Phil, there's no limit to his range, too. Him and Reed both, or he and Reed, excuse my English, can both light it up from just about anywhere on the court.
No basket, foul before the shot.
Seems like they're calling him a little bit touchy tonight.
Well, I think it's better to call him tight at the beginning, especially so the game doesn't get away from him, because if you start out loose and try to tighten it up, the referees sometimes get in trouble.
I think after the altercation with Irwin and...
That's right. They don't want to have the game get out of hand. Oh, basket by number 25. That's the substitute they had.
John Hicks.
John Hicks.
Irwin takes... Ivy goes up strong. That was a great rebound by Richard Ivy. He took it right away from Stan Snipes off the missed shot by Eric Wilson. Wilson had a wide open shot. He just couldn't get it to go down. And Ivy came up with a rebound.
Another key this year, I think, is Charles Washington. He played very well off the bench last year, Mike, and if he can do likewise this year, it's going to really help the Mastodons.
Now, last year he was an excellent sixth man, as he is this year. I think Coach Russell's counting on some big things from him coming off the bench. If there is one advantage IPFW does have over St. Francis tonight, they do have a little deeper bench.
That's true.
And that might make a difference later on in the ball game. Ivy cans both of them.
But if they play a deliberate game, they might be able to hang in there with less subs. That is the Cougars.
John Hicks passes it into Matt Hicks. Big strong move by Matt Hicks.
Tom Schmidt back in the St. Francis lineup, replacing Stan Snipes.
Fouls on Eric Wilson. That's his first foul, and that's
Pat Pollard is in
sixth.
Pat Pollard's just come in for IPFW, Mike. He's a 6'4", 470-pound junior transfer from Peoria, Illinois.
Referees are discussing
Assume that
possible
basket
violation,
does not
maybe.
count. See what? Okay, basket is good. He thought one of the players was going to move out and didn't, and anticipated that the basket would not count for a violation, but the St. Francis player did not move out as the referee anticipated, so he signals that the basket is good.
The shot is good. He will shoot one more foul shot.
The referee has enough intestinal fortitude to
Gets the second one.
say he made a mistake.
Reed takes the shot.
St. Francis ball.
St. Francis gets a team rebound. They were in there battling.
Here it is, 24-18. St. Francis still up on top with 11:57 left in the first half here at the IPFW multi-purpose building.
I think IPFW is just going to have to get just a little bit more aggressive on the boards. They had the position on that particular rebound last time. Just couldn't quite grab the ball. Off the missed shot, Scott Reed tipped it out of bounds. It belonged to St. Francis. We've got 11:42 left in the first half. Matt Hicks with the ball. Over to Jeff Weber. He's their playmaker. Good pass inside.
Oh.
That's John Hicks.
That was John Hicks, and he came off of the pick and sorted, I thought, too high in the air, but it dropped down for 2 points.
Phil, he's only a freshman. He went up there like he knew exactly what he was doing.
He did.
Eric Wilson with the ball over to Moreland. Back to Wilson. He drives a lane.
Walking.
They're going to call traveling.
He got bumped just a little. It threw him off. Tim Russell is going to call for timeout. And we have 5 planned timeouts, and we're going to send you back to the studio for a 1-minute timeout with Tim Russell. I'm Phil Kennel. Welcome to Timeout with Tim Russell. Tim, could you explain the difference between Division II, which we're a part of, and Division I?
Division II, Phil, is obviously, the second phase of college basketball. From a playing standpoint, obviously, quote, the best players have been recruited to Division I. But at the same time, there are a couple levels, or maybe even 3 of Division I, and I would say that the Great Lakes Valley Conference, which we're a part of, compares very favorably with probably the bottom 4 or 5 conferences in Division I. So, and also the best Division II teams are made up of a lot of transfers from 4-year schools and also from junior colleges. So. Obviously, it's not as good, but close.
At IPFW for the 1986-87 season.
Then for IPFW, Bruce Irwin and Bobby Marshall. Richard Ivey's also going to check in.
It's 26-18. St. Francis still up by 8 big points with 10:58 left in the first half, and I think IPFW is a little lethargic.
Jeff Weber with the ball. He drives it inside. Good pass in there to Matt Hicks. John Hicks takes the ball away. Goes in for the layup. It's offensive
No basket.
foul.
No basket.
Good aggressive move by John Hicks, but to no avail as he runs over Washington.
Did you put one on?
And you could say that's a freshman mistake, but I think everybody makes that mistake once in a while.
Right. Too bad he scored 2 off of it.
Irwin with a good, strong move. Irwin's looking good in the last 2 nights. It's an excellent move.
Well, it's now our understanding that you got that 1-minute timeout with Tim Russell.
There's a three-pointer.
Three-pointer by Tom Schmidt.
Tom Schmidt's an excellent shooter. He can it from anywhere. I watched him play last night against Lake Superior State, and he was just deadly.
Good
strong
move.
Yeah, good strong move by Richard Ivey. I think the assist was Bobby Marshall. Jeff Weber taking it out to the corner. That's Schmidt with the ball. Over to Matt Hicks. He misses. That's a rarity. Bobby Marshall picks up the ball over to Washington. He gets it blocked by Matt Hicks. Matt Hicks is all over the floor.
Carrying the ball.
Bobby Marshall had good position there. Caused the turnover.
That's true. Matt Hicks was going to take it behind his back and thought the better of it, and then he should have because he got called for a traveling.
Mark Schroer goes out of the ball game. In for Shore is Stan Snipes, number 34, the 6'7" senior out of Fort Wayne.
A little concern at the
Also-
scores table here, I think, with the timer. We'll see what's happening here.
Kevin James is waiting to check in. He's a 6'4" freshman from Indianapolis. And he checks in for Matt Hicks. very young ball club, this St. Francis team, with only 4 seniors and the rest being sophomores and freshmen. So they've got a lot of rebuilding after these 4 seniors graduate this year.
They sure have. A little push.
Irwin establishing position. Foul's going to be on Stan Snipes.
St. Francis foul, number 34, Stan Snipes. That's Snipes' second personal foul, team's 5th.
Bobby Marshall looking for a...
Yeah, he missed Richard Ivey, who was momentarily in the clear under the basket.
Pat Pollard on the miss. The rebound by John Hicks. John Hicks playing an excellent game so far, freshman from Fort Wayne. Are they brothers, Phil?
I'm assuming they are, but I don't know for sure. So
I don't want to assume. Oh, excellent block by Irwin. Oh, another good block by Irwin. What action underneath?
Fouled by number 25,
What action underneath?
John Hicks.
That's what they need Bruce Irwin for, right there.
Right, he blocked 2 of those,
An
Mike.
intimidator underneath. He could really get up there.
Jim Moreland coming back into the Mastodon lineup, replacing Richard Ivey.
Yeah, that's going to make him think twice about getting that ball inside now that Irwin is playing so aggressive.
You're right, it's an intimidation factor.
Bobby Marshall handling the ball over to Pat Pollard. Passes inside to Moreland. Is stolen by Tom Schmidt. This is a feisty St. Francis team.
Playing very well. Scott Reed's going to be checking.
Very well
in.
coached. Steal by Pollard. He's going to take it all the way.
And he stuffs it. That brings the crowd to the feet.
That's going to ignite the crowd a little bit.
Nice pass.
John Hicks partially blocked by Irwin, but it goes in anyway. John Hicks playing an excellent game. Just a freshman from Fort Wayne.
Sure is.
Good move by Irwin. Good soft touch. Irwin playing an excellent game as well.
Oh, missed the steal.
In for St. Francis, number 33, Claire Knapp, will go in for John Hicks. John Hicks gets a good hand from the St. Francis crowd.
Scott Reed in the lineup for
Matt Hicks comes back in. And out goes Kevin James. Stan Snipes for the ball. Weber, good pass to Hicks. Hicks takes it up, throws up a shot. That was an excellent defense to throw off that shot by IPFW. Scott Reed with the ball, looking for an open lane. Over to Washington, takes the shot, cans it.
2-point.
Assist, Scott Reed.
Now it's within 3. Mastodon's 31-28 deficit now, but that's the closest they've been since the opening.
It's a three-point attempt.
Oh,
and he's got it. Tom Schmidt, 6'3".
Well, that wipes out that
Senior from
deficit.
Cold Springs, Kentucky. Schmidt's just an excellent shooter. Like I said, he was deadly last night, and he's holding on to that touch tonight. Bobby Marshall. I think the foul's going to be on Jim Moreland. Boy, I'm not so sure about that.
It is, Mike.
I think they both had a pretty equal opportunity at the ball. Apparently Stan Snipes had position.
That's right, and that gets you the foul shot. He's shooting 1 and 1. 34-28. St. Francis ahead with 6 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half.
Pat Pollard comes in for Bruce Irwin. It looks like Irwin's hobbling a little bit. Looks like he may have hurt his ankle.
The trainer is working with him down in the corner.
Had a few ankle problems last year.
You're right. Stan Snipes makes the first one.
Substitution number 25, John Hicks coming back into the lineup for number 33,
I'm sure Coach Russell is hoping that Irwin can stay healthy the whole year.
I'm sure.
They really need him.
You're right.
Snipes makes both free throws. We've got 6 minutes left, approximately 6:07, and St. Francis is up by 8 points. Scott Reed over to Marshall. Marshall gets the ball into Washington. Washington takes a shot. He's short. Rebound by Schmidt. Schmidt's got a ton of rebounds also. He's doing a good job on the boards.
They had a blocked off 3-on-1. Only had one IPFW person in there for a rebound. Looks like Irwin's okay. He's walking back to the bench.
Good defense by Scott Reed. And he gets the turnover. It was last touched by Snipes.
Good play by Scott.
Scott Reed is as solid a guard as there is in the Great Lakes Valley Conference.
He is.
He's a good addition to this team.
He'll be a mainstay, hopefully, for the Mastodons this year.
He's another key, that's for sure. It's Pat Pollard in trouble on the sideline. Over to Bobby Marshall, makes a move inside.
Nice play by Marshall.
That's good penetration by Bobby Marshall. That's what he can do. That's how he can help this team.
Definitely.
And when he doesn't have the shot, he can always dish off, and that's...
Nice body control by Matt Hicks.
Matt Hicks, what a player.
14 points for him, Mike.
Gotta find a way to stop that.
The Mastodons play deliberate ball as well. Problem is when you get behind by 8, it's sometimes kind of hard to come back.
Moreland misses the easy shot off the layup. You won't see Jim Moreland miss that shot very often. He had a wide open shot off.
That was a good shot and just wouldn't drop for him. A little too hard, hit the back of the rim.
Right now, IPFW is having a hard time getting the ball to fall through the hole.
Well, we've got a timeout now, and we're going to take you back to this studio for a timeout with Tim Russell.
We hope.
Number 15, Matt Hicks will be shooting the bonus for the Cougars.
Well, we're back here, I think, now. They didn't call a timeout.
That's okay, Phil.
Matt Hicks got the first shot.
I'm sure the director will forgive you.
I hope so.
Maybe tomorrow, but
Get the second one, not
don't
tonight,
expect it
right?
tonight.
Well, we had an overrun on that timeout there we took, and Stan Snipes got 2 foul shots. Score now 40-30 in favor of St. Francis with 4:05 left in the first half.
And the ball came for St. Francis. Kevin James.
Jeff Weber can that.
Jeff Weber is an excellent player. He's one of the mainstays on the St. Francis team. He's the one that makes them click.
His first bucket of the evening.
Even when he doesn't score, he's a major factor in keeping the momentum on this team. Moreland with a good strong move inside. He gets his rebound.
Bobby Marshall missed the tip.
Doesn't get the tip. Weber with the ball. They're looking for a fast break. They can't find it. A good steal by Bobby Marshall. And Scott Reed comes up with the ball, and a good steal by Bobby Marshall. Excellent hustle. And Great pass.
A charge on
Reed.
Bobby Marshall.
That's a shame. They had the easy bucket.
Richard Ivey back in for the Mastodons, replacing Pat Pollard.
But I tell you, Phil, that's what St. Francis does the best, though. They know, they do what they have to do to win, and if they can take the momentum away from you after a good play, they are just a smart ball club. They'll take those charges. They're not afraid to take them. It reflects their coach, Holstein.
And they're up by an even dozen here, 12 points with 2:58 left in the first half.
Good defense by Marshall again. And Reed comes up with the ball. Jim Moreland over to Irwin. Reed takes a three-pointer.
Oh, rims the basket. Rims the basket.
Stan Snipes for the rebound.
St.
Francis is up by 12 points. Weber almost gets stolen.
Very well. Went very well against the press. 15 scores. Matt Hicks.
Can you believe that, Matt Hicks? He had two guys surrounding him. And he went up there strong. Got the rebound. Two guys guarding him. And put the shot down.
Referee's timeout as John Hicks got hit in the mouth, and he does have a little problem there. He should be taken out. I think he'll be sitting down.
You know, you can look at the disgust on the IPFW players' faces. They know they shouldn't be this far behind, but all of a sudden they find themselves 14 points down with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first half, Phil.
They better make a bid here and bring it down under 10 if they want a shot the second half.
I think this is, everybody's almost at a standstill. They can hardly believe this. Very surprising. Good strong move by Moreland. Blocking foul on Tom Schmidt.
Fouls on St. Francis, number 35, Tom Schmidt. That's his first personal, team 7.
Well, the first thing they got to do, I think, Mike, is to start by making 2 foul shots here. Score a few points while the clock is stopped.
That would certainly help.
Jim Moreland on the line. Shooting 2.
Ken's the first one, Jim Moreland. A good free throw shooter.
Makes the second
one.
Back to 12.
Scores 44-32. We've got 2 minutes left now. Excellent pass inside. It goes.
Mark Schroyer. Basket.
Mark Schroyer's called for pushing to get position.
Referees are discussing whether the bucket went in, whether they're going to count it or not.
They called no bucket.
Basket's good by Mark Schroyer. And then the fouls on Mark Schroyer.
Well, I saw this the first initial reaction. He said no bucket. And now he says there is a bucket. You can figure that out.
To me, it looked like it was a bucket, and he fouled after it, Mike.
Possibly thought it was going to miss and push for the rebounding position.
I think that's what happened. Charles Washington shooting 1-on-1. Makes it. First one. Makes the second. Man-to-man defense taken away.
Reed. Steal by Reed.
Bucket is good.
Bucket is good. It looked like Bruce Irvin got away with the walk on his way to the bucket.
I would have called a walk.
But
he had a little hop, skip, and jump there. But
right. I'm sure they'll take it, though. He made up
Right now
for
they
it with an excellent.
need something like that to break.
Yeah, if they're going to get back in this ball game, they're going to need a.
Well, Bruce could bring it under 10 here with a foul shot if he makes it. He does. Now they got to play good defense here.
Mastodons bring it back to single digits. They're down by 9 now, 46-37 with 1:35 left. Good defense. They're pressuring it. There's a wide open shot. There's a big foul, and it's down. The bucket is good. Number 40, Kevin James made the basket, and the foul is going to be on Charles Washington. That hurt.
It did. It was a nice play. It was in the clear, and he was sighted, and it was a good pass to him. And the thing there, Mike, if you've either got to stay away from him or make sure that he doesn't score when you do foul.
Right.
You know. Neither happened there.
That pressure, the defense is almost equate that with a blitz. You're going to take the chance.
That's right. You better
come up with the ball. They're going to make a big play.
If you're going to foul them, you better grab their arm good enough where it doesn't go in.
Well, they missed the free throw, so
St. Francis lead.
Ivy with the big shot, and 35. Tom Schmidt's going to be called for the foul. They say he ducked under Ivy as he was going up.
Well, Richard Ivy will be on the line, and he needs to can these two. 11-point deficit the Mastodons are faced with here with 1:11 left in the first half.
These Mastodons look stunned, Phil.
They do.
They just don't look like they're quite into the ball game yet.
No, I think at halftime, that hurt. Coach Russell will give them a strategy and point out the things that they're going to have to do. And I think one of them is that they're going to come out with a full court press right at the beginning of the second half to try to turn the tide of battle and miss the second one.
48-37 as Ivy makes only one free throw. We've got 1 minute left. It's a good steal. Irwin comes up with the steal. He's going to Ivy with the ball. Drives it to the lane. He takes an errant shot. Goes up again strong.
Good. Made
I'm
it.
not so sure he wasn't fouled on that play, too. Another steal by Ivy. Ivy playing some great ball right now. Hustling.
We want to get 2 points out of this. Bring it down to 7 points before the half.
That's the value of Richard Ivy, Phil.
Yes, he hustled.
When he wants to play, he can play with the best of them.
Washington fouls up by Washington. Beautiful.
Good effort by Washington.
Now defense.
Down by 7 now. The Mastodons are playing pressure defense. They've got 20 seconds left. Oh, good block by Irwin. And they're going to call an offensive foul.
We got a break that they drove for the bucket. Washington didn't see where his man was. All of a sudden he's driving for an easy layup, but he charged, and we can bring it down here to a 5-point deficit if he can score.
Mastodons aren't getting back. If it wasn't for a really good defensive play, they just...
Richard Ivy's been the inspiration in the last minute that has brought him down from 11-point deficit to a 7 right now, and he's got a chance to bring it down to 5. That's 3 in a row he's missed. 3 in a row he's missed.
That hurts. You've got to make the one-on-ones. At least make the
play
first.
For the last shot.
There's another good off defensive play by Washington.
5 seconds.
Three-pointer by Schmidt. They're going to call a foul on
Bruce Irwin,
yeah. He was over the back. That's another thing I was talking about. Rosary College last night got way too many offensive rebounds. And right now, the Mastodons are having trouble blocking out on the offensive boards.
Number 15, Matt Hicks.
Matt Hicks shooting.
Will be shooting the one-on-one.
Now see, here's where they come down. If they make their one-on-one, it's a turnaround of 4 points.
Right.
But he missed.
And he misses. There's 2 seconds left. They're going to have to get the shot off quickly. And they don't get anything off. That's it for the first half. A somewhat surprising score, although Mastodon started coming back in the last 2 minutes, sparked by Richard Ivy's good hustling play. The score right now at halftime is 48-41. St. Francis Cougars over the IPFW Mastodons.
And we'll give you a rundown momentarily here of the unofficial scoring in the first half, as the Cougars are up by 7 in the final game here of the IPFW tip-off tourney, sponsored by Windsor Builders Incorporated, a Lancia company. Now here's the unofficial scoring for the first half. First, for the St. Francis Cougars, Jeff Weber has a field goal for 2 points. Matt Hicks has 6 field goals and 6 foul shots for a total of 18 points. Tom Schmidt has 4 field goals, 2 of them 3-pointers, for a total of 10 points. Mark Schroyer with 2 points on a field goal. Stan Snipes with 2 field goals and 4 foul shots for a total of 8 points. John Hicks with 6, all on 3 field goals. And Kevin James with a field goal for 2 for 48 points. For the Mastodons, Scott Reed has 2 field goals, 1 a 3-pointer for a total of 5 points. Jim Moreland has a field goal and 2 foul shots for a total of 4 points. Bruce Irwin has 4 field goals and 3 foul shots for 11 points. Richard Ivey has 3 field goals and 2 foul shots for a total of 8 points. Bobby Marshall has 2 field goals and a foul for 5 points. Charles Washington, 2 field goals and 2 foul shots for 6 points. Finally, Pat Pollard has a field goal for 2 points for a total of 41 points. So here we are at halftime. St. Francis ahead 48-41, and we're going to return you to the studio for 11 minutes of broadcast with interviews. I'm Phil Kennel. Welcome to IPFW's halftime show. Our first guest tonight is Tim Russell, coach of the men's basketball team. Tim, it looks like you have a very experienced team, at least compared to previous years, with 6 returnees, 4 of which are seniors. How do you think this added maturity can help you this year?
Well, I think obviously in any situation, experience is the best teacher, Phil. And the kids having gone through our system, 1 additional year, and having experienced some of the kinds of things they experienced, hopefully they've learned from that, and it should make us a more cohesive group, I believe.
Good. Now last year, despite being 8-20, of the 28 games, a majority of those games, I think it was 19, were decided by 6 points or less. And of course you were playing tough competition just from the league, the Great Lakes Valley Conference itself. 3 of those teams went into the NCAA Division II regional finals. How do you figure those close games will factor into your chances this year to turn the record around?
Well, it goes back to the earlier comments regarding experience, I think. Phil, the most important thing, I think, late in a ball game is momentum, and I think that momentum comes from a confidence factor and believing that you're going to get the job done, and that experience of having gone through that and then experienced some of the things that we didn't get done down the stretch. And when you mention the fact that we had about 19 of our 28 games were decided by 6 or less, many of those games really were decided in the last minute, the last half minute, the last 3 minutes, the last 4 minutes, the last 5 minutes, where we held leads or were within striking distance and had an excellent opportunity to win. The kids last year just didn't seem to come together at that point in time, and therefore momentum swung the other way. And I think experience and having gone through it is really vital to maintain momentum and to take momentum down the stretch. So I think experience should be a main factor in those areas.
Good, and hopefully that'll help turn that season around, which was very close to becoming last year even an excellent season.
Well, we did. We played a lot of teams very well. Unfortunately, nobody really wants to know how or why. They just want to know what. And what was 8-20. And the other positive way of looking at all that, I guess, is that you know, if there was luck involved, bad luck or good luck, which generally there is to some degree in athletics, maybe we, in addition to not being as good as we needed to be down the stretch, maybe we also experience all the bad luck, you know, that we could possibly experience.
All in one season.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to do it, let's get it done, get it over with, and hopefully through better experiences, we'll also have more luck. So at least we're going to look at it in a positive way that way.
Good. Bruce Irwin and Jim Moreland were two of your veterans last year, and your taller men that I thought did well down the stretch. How do you feel they're going to factor into the season?
Well, I think you know, in any level of basketball, you have to maintain inside play. You have to rebound inside. You have to be able to take the basketball inside offensively. And defensively, you have to be able to prevent easy baskets inside. And I thought that Jim Moreland and Bruce Irwin did an excellent job for us for the most part in all three of those areas through the last 7, 8, 9 games last year. So we come into this season both as coaches and players, and I say players other than those two, having a great deal more confidence in our ability to defend inside, to rebound, to score inside. This takes away a lot of burden from the perimeter players to do the kinds of things they need to get done. So it really helps us as we get into this season to know that we can generally count on those two guys to give us some inside strength.
Who are your other four returnees?
Well, we have Charlie Washington, who is also a senior. Steve Reed or Scott Reed. I always call him Steve, and I don't know why. Scott, I guess, yeah. Scott is a senior guard that we expect to start, a good perimeter shooter, will play the point for us. And Dick Ivey, who was our leading scorer last year, we primarily see Dick as a scorer, although he has the potential to be an outstanding rebounder and passer and do some other things also. And then we have Eric Wilson, a sophomore, who potentially can be an outstanding scorer for us, especially with the three-point line. So we have a nice nucleus there, and we feel like we can be a better club just with those people.
Now, the newcomers, could you just briefly give us their names and what you think you might...
Well, primarily, sure, Phil, primarily we have three kids that we're counting on to help us immediately. Dennis Williams, a 6'5" kid, should help us on the boards right away. Bobby Marshall is a guard that we feel is going to give us some handling and passing in the perimeter that we may have lacked last year. And Pat Pollard is a swing player that should do some scoring and rebounding for us. So as soon as we can get them into the system, they're going to contribute right away.
Good, Tim. Well, this has been an enjoyable rundown on the squad, and hopefully it's going to be a good season for you, and lots of luck during the season.
Well, thanks, Phil. We're looking forward to it.
Okay. Thank you. Our second guest this evening on the halftime show is Julie Callahan, the head coach of the women's basketball team. Julie, this Tuesday you host Indiana Tech, and it's being billed as Fort Wayne's finest in women's basketball. Could you tell us a little bit about the game and the promotion of it?
We're trying to get the people of Fort Wayne to come out and see what traditionally have been the two top women's basketball teams at the collegiate level, and both are loaded with local talent. So we're trying to get all the people of Fort Wayne to come out and see women's basketball. women's basketball has changed a great deal in the last 5 years or so, and the caliber of play is much, much better. And so no matter what your affiliation or whatever, we'd like to get the people of Fort Wayne out to see women's basketball at the college level.
Last year, I know it was a little disappointing to you, but I thought the team played very well, even though the record was 10-16 because you lost a lot of close games. Could you kind of give us a little outlook on this year's schedule?
Well, it's always tough when you change coaches and the kids don't know exactly what to expect, and we put in a lot of new things. But this year we're going to be a young team. We're not real big, but the returners that I do have know what I want, and I think they know what to expect. They know what the conference is going to be like, and we're going to be an exciting team to watch this year because we're going to get up and down the court, and we're going to force things to happen. So I think it will be an interesting year.
And again, you mentioned earlier that if no one has seen a women's basketball game in the last few years, there's really no difference between boys and girls basketball, or men's and women's basketball, I should say.
It's a lot closer. We don't have the 7-footers that are going to slam it through, but the talent and the skills of the young ladies nowadays are very good, and the shooting ability is sometimes a lot better.
You have 3 returnees. Would you mention their names and tell us a little bit about them, and then the rest of the squad, maybe the newcomers?
Sure. We've got 3 returners. Our lone senior and captain is Bev Miller, and she is an excellent ball player, ball handler. She is giving us the leadership we need at that point guard spot. Our junior is Lori Miller returning, and she will be expected to score a lot more for us this year and rebound. She is an excellent athlete. Angie Heingartner is our 3rd returner. She came off the bench for us last year and gave us some good minutes, and she's worked hard. I think that we're going to see a lot more from her. We have 1 junior college transfer, Cynthia Rogers, who's really quick, and then we have 6 freshmen, and that makes up our squad this year. So we're, as you can see, awful young, but talented too.
Good. This year you'll be using the 3-point play in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, and could you kind of tell us how that's going to factor into your strategy, if it does at all?
I think it will affect our team a little bit more than maybe some, because we don't have the dominating center this year. We are not an extremely tall or big team, and so we're going to try to pull people out, and we're going to have some designated plays for that 3-point shot. I've got at least 4 people on the team that want to shoot it and can shoot it consistently, and so I think that you're going to see it quite a bit from us, and so that again adds some excitement for the fans, I think.
Well, it should be a very exciting year, and we invite all the fans out, hopefully to follow both you and the men's basketball team, because we are giving the people in northeastern Indiana the best in Division NCAA. So I think if hopefully some of the young women can come through, as you hope they will. I know it's a young club. It's not going to be easy for you, but again, speaking as an outsider, and we're so happy to have you here with the vast experience you've had at Northwestern, where you were an outstanding player, and we wish you the best of luck in terms of this year, Julie.
Well, thank you very much, and we hope to see lots of fans out there. The young ladies work hard and are very talented athletes, and we appreciate all the fans that come.
Thank you for visiting us here at halftime, and now back to the ball game.
In there, he's been a force.
Game can be controlled somewhat if the Mastodons can come down and play deliberate ball here and go up by 5.
Bobby Marshall's getting ready to check in. Scott Reed with the ball.
They'll have a 2-3 zone up against them.
Irwin takes the shot, gets his own rebound. He's a good pass to Washington. Washington makes a good move inside.
Number
and he
33.
draws a foul.
Fouls on Claire Knapp. Bobby Marshall. And for Pat Pollard. Ivy appears in good shape on the bench and drinking some water and good shape. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here. Back to the studio. Tim, what effect will the three-point play have on IPFW this year?
Well, I think it's going to have the same effect on us that it has on everybody else. The rule maker's intention was to force the defense to come out farther and defend that area, or otherwise give up the 3 points. And their objective was to kind of open up the inside to prevent defenses from jamming down in, double teaming, try to relieve some of the congestion in the lane area. And most college teams are going to have 1 or 2 players on a full-time basis that are capable of making that shot on a routine basis. So we certainly are going to have to go out and defend it, which is, creates some defensive problems for us. But on the other hand, we're going to use it too, and hopefully create some problems for other people.
Good.
Back in the multi-purpose building, I'm Mike Daly with Phil Kennel. Reminder, IPFW defeated Northern Kentucky in women's volleyball to win the Great Lakes Valley Conference Tournament. They are the GLVC champions, and their record is 30-4 on the year. We'll hear Tuesday if they receive a bid to the NCAA Regionals. To the all-conference team, Julie Hefty, Lisa Zer, and Judy Yagodinsky. Judy Yagodinsky was also voted the conference MVP. And the coach of the year is Arnie Ball, and what a job Arnie Ball does year in and year out.
He really is an excellent coach. We're lucky to have him. Charles Washington missed the first shot of a 2-shot foul attempt. Makes the second one.
Blatt has trouble hanging on to the ball. Trying to break the press over to John Hicks. Hicks bounces it off his foot. We're going to 10-second call, and they get it.
10-second call. Good play by Scott Reed.
Good pressure by IPFW.
Now with a 4-point lead, ready hopefully to go up by 6. Or they can put the pressure on St. Francis. Still facing a 2-3 zone by St. Francis. Passing it around to the perimeter.
It's Bobby Marshall with the ball. Into the corner to Charles Washington. Fakes the shot. Over to Scott Reed. Irwin's got the ball in the corner. Moreland fakes a shot. Throws it over to Bobby Marshall. Marshall fakes a shot. Gets it inside to Charles Washington. Good strong move by Charles Washington. Great move by Charles.
Big 2 points for Charles Washington. 6-point lead for the Mastodons. No fouls.
He's a battler. Platt having trouble. Good pass by Jim Platt. He saw the open man.
Oh,
what a
blocked
block
by Irwin.
Bruce Irwin. And they throw the ball away. Ball goes out of bounds.
Richard Ivey back in the Mastodon lineup.
How about that, Irwin?
And Matt Hicks and Jeff Weber and Mark Schroyer back in the St. Francis lineup.
They had a wide open layup there, Phil. I think
Irwin saved that one, didn't he? He came all the way from midcourt to get down there to block that one away. Beautiful.
Well, you see, the man wouldn't have hesitated to have the easy layup, but he just thinking about Irwin, and Irwin sure enough was there as soon as he hesitated.
You're right.
Good
Nice
pass
play.
in there by Tom Schmidt to Stan Snipes. Snipes is a good inside player.
Still zone, 6-point lead, 4-point lead for the Mastodons with 7:12 left in the ball game. Play deliberate ball. They can take as long as they have 26 seconds
There's
left
Ivy.
on the stop.
Makes a strong move inside. They're going to call traveling. Richard Ivy travels with the ball. We'll turn it over to St. Francis with 7:02 left in the ball game. IPFW up 64-60.
Remember, fans, the 45-second clock. You got to get the ball in the air.
They've got Matt Hicks in trouble, and they get the steal.
Beautiful
Bobby
play
Marshall's
by-
got the ball.
What a play!
Slam it through.
What a play!
Boy, was that a big play. That was
Moreland
big.
really set that one up.
Coach Russell can't believe that call. Been pushing and shoving all night. I don't know why they
Fouls on Bobby Marshall.
Fouls like that take a lot of momentum away.
Well, that was a big play, though. 6-point lead now for the Mastodons. St. Francis with the ball.
Very big play. Bobby Marshall's just played a super game tonight. I'm really impressed with him. I think he's going to get better and better as the year goes on.
Off.
There's Matt Hicks. He's had a cold second half.
A walk. He called it. Good call.
Traveling.
Yeah, he took a little hop, skip there.
Stan Snipes, I'll tell you, the IPFW Mastodons are fired up right now.
And we're coming to you live here from the multi-purpose building at Indiana-Purdue Fort Wayne with 6:26 left in the game. A 6-point lead by the Mastodons over the St. Francis Cougars.
Moreland at the top of the key over to Bobby Marshall. They're going to look for an inside shot. Over to Ivy. Ivy fakes a shot. Reed takes a nice jumper, a little bit too hard off the glass. I thought Reed would can that one. He usually does.
They're usually pretty good coming off the glass.
Jeff Weber's back in the ball game, taking the place of Jim Platt.
St. Francis got to take a good shot here to get back in the ball game. They can't afford to take a bad shot.
Well, you see Matt Hicks afraid to take the shot. He's been cold lately. You know, just as I say that, he throws up a good inside move there. Gets his own rebound.
Yeah, I think that went to Hicks, number 15. It could have been 34. Let's give it to Matt Hicks.
Bucket by number 15, Matt Hicks.
Yeah, official
Absolutely
score
right,
gave
Phil.
it to Matt Hicks as well. That was a good play by St. Francis. They're only down by 4 with 5:26 left in the ball game here.
There's a big move
Championship
by
game.
Ivy.
Great move by Richard Ivy.
Oh, he's strong.
6-point lead again by the Mastodons. And a foul on Jim Moreland. An unnecessary call. He should not have been there reaching in.
Indiana-Purdue foul
That
number
was a
41, Jim Moreland.
Coach Russell was a little upset with Jim for making that obvious foul out in the backcourt.
Jim's a little tired.
Yes, he is. He's
A lot of times you make fouls like that when you are a little bit tired.
starts chewing on his teeth protector there. He shows he's a little tired.
Oh, good steal by Scott Reed. He gets over to Bobby Marshall, and he gets it stolen by Jeff
steal
Weber.
again
Heads
by
up play
Weber.
by Jeff Weber.
Nice play by Weber.
That Weber is a momentum stopper is what he is. That's the value for Jeff Weber. Now they're going to throw an errant
Second.
pass to half court. Weber saves it.
Nice play by Weber.
Looks like he walked on that time, but he
Irwin with a
gets
big
away with it.
rebound.
Irwin throws a wild pass to Marshall.
He can't hold on it.
Oh, boy.
Can't hold on it.
I'm not so sure that Russell wasn't too dissatisfied with that. They're looking for the outlet, and just a little bit off-balance pass by
Yeah,
Irwin.
Bruce made his best effort there, and it was just a little wide of the mark.
They did have an open lane.
Yeah.
If Marshall would have caught the pass, they'd have had a pretty easy pass.
There's a timeout here, and we'll swing back to the studio. Tim, the Great Lakes Valley Conference is reported to be one of the top Division II teams or leagues in the nation. Could you tell how this will affect our play, etc.?
Well, anytime you're playing at that level, you have to be ready to play. You have to be good enough to compete, and it means that night in and night out, there's no rest for the weary. You have to certainly be mentally and physically prepared. You're not going to upset a lot of people very often. You're going to have to be that good. And so it just means a lot of hard work, a lot of preparation, and generally it's going to mean, just like in the Big Ten, there's always a lot of close games, a lot of overtimes, a lot of 1- and 2-pointers, and so it should be for some interesting basketball, Phil.
And hopefully the fans will be out to watch it. Back live at the IPFW multi-purpose building, a 6-point lead for the Mastodons with 4:34 left in the game. St. Francis has the ball.
Well, St. Francis is going to have to play patient like they have been all game.
Oh,
You see, they throw the
big
ball away
turnover
inside.
there. So, break for the Mastodons.
See, this is the part of the game where the bench becomes so vital.
Well, they might as well chop off most of their 45 seconds here. The St. Francis still got a zone, which kind of surprises me. They're down by 6. They're going to have to come out in the man-to-man pretty soon.
The difference in this comeback so far by IPFW has been their strong bench play. And
What you predicted at the beginning of the ball game.
thank you, Phil.
Very observant, Michael.
Irwin has a little trouble getting it back outside to Marshall. Ivy's going to take the jumper from the top of the key. Oh,
Irwin almost tapped it in. I
they're
think he's
gonna
got a
call a foul.
foul. That's right. It was good position by Tom Schmidt. He had position. Irwin went over his back. It was a good call by the referee.
They're going to, whether you make contact or not, they're going to call a foul just about 90% of the time on
You're
that
right.
particular play, unless you're a Manu Bowl and you can just reach right over somebody.
3:42 left. Still a 6-point lead for the Mastodons. St. Francis has the ball. Jeff Weber bringing the ball up court. A hard press on him.
There's a good steal by Moreland. Oh, yes. Jim Moreland with a great steal and a bucket to go
8
with it.
points lead.
It's an 8-point lead for the Mastodons, as Phil just mentioned.
Oh, unnecessary.
You know, every time they get a momentum, their momentum shifting.
Foul on Richard Ivy. He
It
got
seems like
pulled
they've
up in
been
the air.
making the foolish fouls right afterwards.
That foul was unnecessary, and Jim Moreland's foul back here. Now they're shooting 1-on-1, and normally they'd be 2 shots away from it.
Scott
And
Reed
with
had
the ball,
an unnecessary foul before.
That's right. When the ball dead, they're going to have a chance to catch up here. 8-point lead for the Mastodons.
Still early in the season, though. Those mistakes will get less and less as the year goes on.
Right. Matt Hicks scores the first one, and he can bring it back down to a 6-point deficit if he hits on this second foul shot. And he does.
Those are big free throws for Matt Hicks and St. Francis.
Yeah, and they didn't take any time off the clock doing it. That's a big factor here. We'll
Especially-
be 1-on-1, and next time we're fouled, we'll
Especially
have
just a
a
little
shot.
bit over 3 minutes left.
Yeah, see, if we can keep the lead and get in that 1-on-1, that's going to be a foul shooting contest, and whoever the best foul shooter is going to win the game.
Bobby Marshall with the ball right now makes a good spin move over to Richard Ivy. He's got the wide open shot, and he misses it.
Ivy in underneath.
He gets the tip.
Irwin helped him on that one.
Now
Irwin tipped it.
I think Irwin's height helped him on that particular play.
8-point lead now for the Mastodons, and there's some pressure now on St. Francis. They've got to come down and score every time now. They can't afford to come down and not score. And we can't afford to give them a foul back in the backcourt, I'll tell you that right now.
I think that was one of the biggest buckets of the game right there. There's an alley-oop.
Nice play.
Wasn't a slam dunk, but it was an alley-oop.
Snipes got the bucket. So
Excellent play by Weber.
by Jeff Weber.
Like I keep saying, Weber finds a way to break the momentum. But slightly, he does find a way to break it.
Foul, 34. Stands, snipes. Richard Ivy will go to the line shooting 2. That's a big 2. Now, he missed 3 in a row in the first half. Remember that, Mike. And this is the time he's got to start making them. You got a 6-point lead, and you can maintain it now if you can get to the foul shots, because they're going to have to foul you. So if you can make your foul shots, they're not going to beat you.
Now, regardless, how much has Richard Ivy meant to this team tonight? Quite a bit.
Well, with 2:33 left, timeout St. Francis.
Your schedule this year includes 9 teams who have been picked in the top 20 in the nation in Division II NCAA. How does that affect the coaching you're going to have to do?
Makes it very difficult, Phil. I might clarify that a little bit. We have 9 games against top 20 teams, not 9 different teams. We play Wright State twice, and we play Southern Indiana twice, and play Kentucky Wesleyan twice. In addition to that, Lewis is one of the top-ranked teams, and Ferris State out of Michigan is also ranked 4th in the preseason. So hopefully the preseason games will get us ready for the conference, and our objective is to compete well enough in the conference to finish in the top 2 or 3 and get an NCAA bid.
Good. And good luck.
The number's in the phone book. Tell them you saw the game live here Saturday night on Channel 23, and you'll get 2 free tickets for any game up and through the Christmas holiday. 2 tickets for any game up through the Christmas holidays.
Can't beat that deal.
No.
Ivy's going to shoot the 1-and-1, or he had 2 shots.
He's got it.
With a 2-shot foul.
That was a big foul shot, Mike. Puts him up by 7. 2:23 left. Yes, he's got the other one.
Good pressure shots. Free throws by
Now, no fouling, no fouling. Just good defense.
Matt Hicks breaks the press. Jeff Weber's going to slow it down a little bit. They can't slow it down too much, though. He takes a three-pointer, and
Oh, he's got it. Boy, there's a way to cut into the lead real quick.
Weber is such a good shooter from that three-point range.
That cuts in the lead quick. Blocking foul on St. Francis.
How many times do I need to repeat it? But Jeff Weber.
Third foul on Matt Hicks, Mike. At this stage, it doesn't make much difference how many fouls on him.
2 minutes left. They're going to keep him in there. I don't think they're going to
Well,
worry
see,
about
that
that too much.
8-point lead went down by 3 there. And that's the key here is the three-point play that we're playing this year in the Great Lakes Valley Conference and all our other games gives the team that's behind a chance to come back. Wow.
Free throw.
Round the rim, back off the backboard, but it's good.
Yeah, I think that three-point play is, a lot of people argue that it's going to take away from the inside game, but I think just the opposite. I think it's going to bring more of the defense to the outside and make way for a little more wide-open inside game.
Coach Russell wants his team to have their hands up on defense and no fouls.
Reed missed the second free throw.
No foul.
Matt Hicks with a big, strong move. A big block by Irwin.
Gave him
We're going to call that goaltending.
Goaltending.
I think that was a good call.
Okay, we're down to 4 points now and a lot of time left, Mike. 1:53 left on the scoreboard.
There's plenty of time left.
Mastodons only up by 4 here.
It's anybody's game.
They break the press. Ivy.
There's Ivy. He's got a one.
Control it.
Two,
You bring it back to Reed.
Good smart play by Ivy. That was he could have tried to do too much with the ball and got a turnover, but he pulled it back out.
It's got a big play here. We want to eat most of the 45 seconds up, and there's 24 seconds left. Irwin shoots long. He's got it. Irwin scores.
Yes, sir. Bruce Irwin.
That better have gone in. Steal. Beautiful steal by Richard Ivy. And a foul. He's fouled by number 20, Jeff Weber.
He had Jim Moreland on the left side. An easy pass. But it had a real easy bucket there. Just couldn't quite get the handle on the ball and get it to him. There was a look of disgust on Moreland's face after the play. He knew he had a wide open layup.
They called it on Stan Snipes, and that's his 5th foul. Thought it was going to be on Jeff Weber there.
I've been so impressed with Ivy tonight. He's played such an excellent game and just battled
Really
all
has.
night on the boards. Number 34, Stan Snipes, goes out. He had an excellent game as well. And in for him comes Claire Knapp.
Unofficially, Snipes had 18 points. Tim, rightfully so, there's a lot of print now on the student athlete. What are you doing to ensure that your student athletes are able to do both jobs?
Well, there's 2 or 3 things here that involve Phil. One, we obviously do our best to try to recruit an athlete that is serious about wanting an education. That personal responsibility has to come first. Secondly, the department runs a monitoring system, the athletic department, keeping tabs, finding out what's going on with each athlete on a very periodic basis to make sure that we don't have serious problems, and if we do, we can take immediate action to try to correct it. Third thing is I personally require our athletes to check in with me at 8 o'clock every morning on their way to class, and so we keep those personal tabs that way then.
Our young team, led by Coach Julie Callahan, is going to have to play tough ball to stay with them on
She's
Tuesday
got a short
night.
team, but they've got a little bit of quickness, and they're hustlers, and I think she knows her basketball as good as anybody.
Sure does. One-on-one. This is a big play. Richard Ivy could really give a little breathing room here for the Mastodons if he could sink both sides of the one-on-one. Missed the first one, and it's pushed out, but no call is made. St. Francis controls.
I think that was an excellent block out by Matt Hicks. I don't think there was a foul on that play. He just blocked out exceptionally well.
Three-point play, no good.
Aaron shot by Tom Schmidt. He's got a fast break. Marshall misses Washington on the right side, but he got fouled.
Marshall should have passed. Coach Russell wanted him to pass. Marshall held it one dribble too much, or there would have been an easy layup for the Mastodons there. As it is, he's fouled, and to make up for that, he's going to have to sink both ends of this 1-and-1.
Still up by 6 points. We've got 1:05 left. Not much time left for St. Francis Cougars if he makes these free throws. And he misses.
That hurts. That
yes,
hurts.
It does.
We
Mark
threw
Shore
away
with the
2
rebound.
points on that.
Glover's going to pass it over to Matt Hicks, that is. Into Shore. He takes a wild hook shot.
Almost goes in.
And there's a big shot
and he's fouled
by Matt Hicks. And it looks like he threw his elbow out, and they called a foul on Ivy. He threw his elbow out to get the position.
Yes. Matt Hicks scored and gets a foul shot.
But he knows how to draw the fouls. You've got to give him credit for that. Boy, was that a big play. If he makes this one.
He can have that 6-point deficit down to 3. In 52 seconds, there's a lot of time left, Mike.
And then you've got 2 shooters on St. Francis that can can it from anywhere. You've got Jeff Weber. You've got Tom Schmidt, who can make the three-pointer anytime with people in their face.
Well, that was a big play for St. Francis. They're a gutsy ball club, and they're back in the ball game here, especially if they score this shot here. Makes it.
And he makes a big free throw there. They're only down
74.
Reed has trouble getting the pass to Washington. They're going to have to get it over the line. Oh, boy. Had a good
Down goes the trainer. Foul is on number 15, Matt Hicks. Scott Reed will go to the line, and I tell you, we talked about it earlier, they've got to make these shots.
Absolutely, but they've got one of their best free throw shooters at the line. He
it's
shot
going to be a
80%.
2-shot foul. A deliberate foul is called by the referee. He grabbed him. He tells the coach, Holstein, that it was a deliberate foul. It takes a little pressure off Scott Reed. He's got 2 shots. He doesn't have to worry on the beginning of the one-on-one.
He's their best free throw shooter. He shot 80% from the line last year.
Well, he needs it here.
He's
he
a
needs it here.
player.
Oh, he missed it. He missed it. And they're unable. This happened a lot last year. They were up and they could not make the foul shots.
What a game.
He missed the second one, but Moreland gets a rebound and scores.
He missed the bucket. Jim Moreland with a huge rebound.
Big play if there ever was one. St. Francis did not block
Weber
Jim Moreland
down the
off.
court. 3-point attempt by,
Oh,
my goodness.
3-point play.
A three-pointer.
By 35.
Tim Russell yelling that the timeout was called too late. The ball was thrown in bounds. And then St. Francis called timeout, and the referee let them have it. And Russell is just furious.
And Tim's calmed down, but I could see why he would be upset because they had the ball in, and you can't call a timeout.
Now, what I tell you about
the ball in play.
What I tell you about Schmidt? With people in his face, he canned a three-pointer.
Yeah, that's his 3rd three-pointer tonight, Mike.
Right.
And now we have 21 seconds to go. A 2-point lead by the Mastodons. They have the ball, but they've got to get it in. You know, Coach Holstein is working out a play to stop them from getting the ball in. And if they had not called that timeout, St. Francis could not have done anything. We could have conceivably ran the 21 seconds out with them not unable to make the timeout. And that was a tough break for the Mastodons.
Yes, it was. What a game we've got going for us tonight. The only thing missing is you, the people. We've got a spare crowd tonight, not a bad crowd, but there could be a lot more people enjoying an excellent basketball game.
With 2 Fort Wayne teams in the final here, we should have a packed house.
We've got 21 seconds left. IPFW's got the pressure on him. They've got to get the ball inbounds.
Work a pick. He's got to get it in. He does.
Got it in to Marshall, over to Reed.
What's he got? Foul on number 35, a 2-shot foul. Richard Ivey was shoot 2. Foul was on Tom Schmidt.
That took some guts by Schmidt.
Well,
Ivey's
he did the only thing. It was a good play. He did the only thing he could do. He was trying to draw the foul.
Right.
And the only way he could do it is the way he did it. And,
unfortunately for him, there was Richard Ivey coming right at him.
That's right. but he's up and walking, and when you get hit by Ivey, you wouldn't get up normally that fast, so he's in good shape
he's a
down
pretty big
here.
guy himself.
Yeah, he's a pretty big boy.
Pretty tough player.
Need the foul shot, Mike. He misses it.
Oh, my
you could tell that was going to go off. He's got Irwin going in for rebound strength for Washington. He wants rebound strength off the defensive boards. He doesn't want St. Francis to get more than one shot. That's why he put Irwin in. Now, Ivey's got to score this one. He's got to make this point. He's missed about 3 in a row, missed 3 the first half.
Shots up.
He's got that
makes
one.
it. Boy, that was big.
3-point play to tie it here.
3-point play won't win it, but it'll sure tie it.
That's why he needed that one.
We've got 13 seconds left.
3-pointer.
He's got it! What did I tell you about Schmidt? The guy is incredible. Tremendous shot. He took
they got
that from
one
about
play.
22 feet.
He's got it. Now he's done it. No basket.
No bucket. What a game we've got, folks.
He called no basket.
We're going
It's
into
overtime. A tap was too late.
Marshall had the layup, and he just flat out.
Marshall is hurt. Apparently his ankle. He's signaling to somebody in there, or maybe he's got a cramp. I think maybe only a cramp. Hopefully it's only a cramp. Oh, I'll tell you, that's his 4th 3-point play for Tom Schmidt. Tied it up. 5-minute overtime coming up. Hey, we got a game here. They're missing a good game, all you fans
Are they
been out here.
This is Fort Wayne basketball at its best. You're seeing the 2 finest teams in Fort Wayne right here at IPFW multi-purpose building. I'm telling you, this is one of the best games I've seen.
Was beautiful comeback by St. Francis. Did I tell you Ivey had to get that foul shot? That 3-point play would have won it.
Absolutely, you're absolutely.
It would have won it.
So fulfilling there. That was.
Got 5-minute overtime. Each get an extra timeout. Marshall's out. I think it's only a cramp, but he's coming off with the trainer. He's still not ready to play. He's still not ready to play, and that's going to hurt. Marshall's played a good ball game.
He had a layup in that last shot there. Just couldn't quite get it to fall. And Ivey worked his tail off to get that tip in, but it was just too late.
Well, that 3-pointer by Tom Schmidt, he earned that one. I mean, that was about a 40-footer almost, and it was clean as a whistle.
Schmidt's the hero right now.
Well, let's see what happens in overtime here. St. Francis and Indiana Purdue.
I got it.
He's offering you a Coke, never turn him down.
We got Irwin and Shore going to jump.
Controlled by the Mastodons.
IPFW. Scott Reed with the ball.
Well, that was one heck of a comeback by St. Francis, down about 8 points, 3 minutes to go, and came back to tie it up. Irwin with a long jumper, makes it.
Yes, sir. Then we can't forget the comeback by IPFW in the second half as well.
That's true.
Early in the second half, they were down, and they came back. This has just been one momentum-shifting game after another. There's Schmidt with the ball. So far, he's the hero of this game.
Sure is.
Weber
16 points in the regulation for Schmidt. 12 of them on 4 3-point plays.
There's a 3-point attempt by Weber.
Weber gets 3.
Is he clutch?
St. Francis up by 1. With 3:57 left in the overtime.
Weber impresses me as well.
Mastodons without Marshall. Pollard's got the ball, replacing Marshall. Passes over.
Irwin in the corner. they're looking for a good shot. They want to get a good shot there. I don't know if that's the one.
He's got it.
But he sure
He's got
made
it. You could see that one going in, and it better gone in, or he would have been in trouble with Coach Russell, I'm sure.
IPW is up by 1 with 3:25 left in the overtime. Clarinap with the ball over to Jeff Weber. He goes over to Matt Hicks. Weber's looking for Schwarr inside. Oh, they didn't call a foul.
No foul.
Oh, my
No
goodness.
foul.
They're not gonna call a foul.
Oh, Knapp scores.
Incredible.
No foul. He's
There
going
was
to get
3 fouls
technical.
there.
Technical on Russell.
Called by
And that
Coach
hurts.
Russell. Called on Coach Russell.
That hurt.
That really hurt. Crowd is really upset, as they should be. There was 3 obvious fouls on that play. On the rebound.
St. Francis up by 1, Mike, and they got a free throw for the technical foul.
That's the breaks of the game. IPFW has had their breaks in this game as well.
35 scores that. He's
Just
got a second shot.
Just happened to come at the wrong time, that's all.
That's a 2-point lead, could be 3 points, and it's 3 points. Now the Mastodons have to come back. At the 3-minute mark, they're down by 3, and St. Francis has the ball out of bounds.
This is unbelievable. Schmidt has been just flawless.
I think there was a foul underneath there, but the referee didn't see it, so there's nothing you can do about it. They got an easy bucket. Moreland gets the ball, intercepts nicely, passes back to the...
Almost threw it away. Oh, boy. They're going to call a foul.
Now Reed was definitely fouled, but he got a little lucky that the guy fouled him. If the guy just stepped away, he didn't have any place to go. He was out of control.
Right. Trying to make things happen.
There's 5 fouls on him. 5 fouls on number 35, Tom
Oh, my
Schmidt.
goodness. That's big.
Boy, there goes a three-pointer. 4 3-pointers he made tonight.
Tom Schmidt fouls out. My goodness.
He's got 18 unofficial points here in the ball game.
He has been their hero in the last.
Tom Schmidt, who sunk a long 3-pointer with 4 points, 4 seconds left in regulation, that put St. Francis into the overtime. And St. Francis now with a 3-point lead with 2:43 left. Scott Reed on the line, shooting 1 and 1. And Mike, he's got to hit both of them.
He's got to hit these. Momentum is shifted towards St. Francis, and he's got to make these. Gets the first one.
We'll take them any way we can. Scott Reed bounces it around the rim a couple times, and it goes in.
Second one is good, right through there.
Clean one. 1-point lead by St. Francis. 2:41 left in
Weber being pressured by Reed. Gets the ball over to number 40, Kevin James. Back to Weber, to James. Looking for an open lane. Weber finds Matt Hicks. And he gets it back out to Weber. They'll slow it down again. They go inside to Schwer. Gets it back out to James. Weber back over to...
Nice fake.
Oh, my goodness. Matt Hicks.
Matt Hicks.
What a move.
Made a nice fake through the Mastodon up in the air.
Got him in the parachuter club.
Cardinal rule, never leave your feet on defense, and it hurts you.
There's a shot by Reed. Boy, do they need that. Good shot by Scott Reed.
Needed that one.
He's not afraid to take the jumper under pressure. Goes for the steal. He's working hard against Weber. Oh, my goodness, what a foul. I don't know what anybody's arguing about on that one. That was
Charles Washington in for Pat Pollard.
That was a clear foul by Richard Ivey. Just about.
Right. Now, Jeff Weber, let's see what St. Francis does. We really lost that lead because we couldn't make foul shots in the last 3 minutes of the first half, or second half.
Well, Weber's a veteran. He's a senior. He's been with the team a while. He knows what it's all about. He knows what pressure is.
They put him up by 3 here.
I got a hunch he's going to make both of these.
Got it. The
put him up by 3, Mike. He makes this one with 1:41 left to go. It's now 90-88. St. Francis.
Right through
got
there.
it. 3-point lead. Pressure's on the Mastodons with 1:39 left. St. Francis with the zone. They're making a shoot from the outside, they hope.
They find Washington. He's got a wide open jumper. He makes it. Boy, that was big. They needed that badly. We've got 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the ball game.
Uh-oh.
They've got
Man's in the
2 men
clear
on the
underneath
side.
the basket.
They're going to
Oh,
call
he was in the clear. Didn't see him underneath.
Yeah,
But
they
he
had
drew the foul.
2 men wide open underneath the basket. And
Fouls on Richard Ivey. Bobby Marshall coming back in.
Richard Ivey fouls out with 1:17 left. Bobby Marshall's going to go in for him. Great effort.
Miss Ivey played an excellent ball game tonight.
Jim Platt goes in for number 40, Kevin James. We're going to have Jim Platt in there to break the press.
Ivey unofficially has 18 points here when he left the game. Timeout, Tim Russell's trying to call.
And we do have a timeout, IPFW. How many timeouts? That's their first timeout, right? Or they got one per overtime?
Yeah, extra.
Okay.
So we didn't use them all up, so we should have some left. Well, Mike, it's been a barn burner here. It's not over yet. 1 minute and 17 left, but St. Francis is in the driver's seat. They've got a 1-point lead. They're shooting a one-on-one.
Well, what a way to start off the season. We've got 2 overtime games in a row. That was an excellent game of Rosary College and Lake Superior State earlier in the night.
Yeah, that was a 98-96 game that Rosary beat Lake Superior in overtime, and we're in an overtime here. Exciting ball games here, and we're glad you're joining us live here on TV, but we sure wish you'll come out for the rest of the season and watch us in person here. Remember, those who are watching the game live here tonight, if you call into the athletic office, you'll receive 2 free tickets. If you just tell them you've watched the game live Saturday night on Channel 23, you'll receive 2 free tickets to any one of our games between now and the Christmas holidays.
Back to the game. Number 44, Mark Schwarz, trying to make a 1-and-1. Misses the first one, and there's a rebound.
There's a big miss. There's a big miss. Now they've got to come down, the Mastodons, and get a good shot. St. Francis says we're going to throw a zone against you. We're going to force you to take that outside shot, we hope. And consequently, we're moving around the perimeter.
I think Coach Russell wants as good a shot as he can possibly have this.
I like to see Irwin get underneath. I don't like to see him out where he is.
Irwin's going to take the shot. Good pass in to Bobby Marshall.
No good.
And he takes a shot. There's going to be a foul on number 33, Chris.
Washington will shoot.
Or Claire Knapp. Washington had the, or Moreland that is, had the position on him.
Well, Jim's a senior. 47 seconds left. His team is down by 1.
It's Claire Knapp's second foul.
Big foul shot. Now St. Francis fans are yelling air ball in reciprocation to the Mastodons yelling that when their player was shooting, and it's good. Tie ball game. Tie ball game.
Well, nothing shuts up an air ball, Chen, more than a made free throw.
Jim Moreland made an important foul shot there. He has a chance to put his team up by 1 here with 47 seconds left in overtime. He makes
gets
it.
Both up. Boy, those are
a 1-point lead by the Mastodons with 45 seconds, 44 seconds left.
Clutch foul shooting by Moreland.
They cannot foul here. They must make St. Francis earn their shot. They can't foul.
Good pressure by IPFW.
A zone defense.
Platt had an open shot. He passed it up.
Zone defense on the part of the Mastodons. 23 seconds left. 19 on the shot clock. They can take it down to 1 second.
Matt Hicks makes a big move on Washington, but Moreland came up and closed the lane up real good. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. We're going to have to get one off.
A hook shot.
Big wild hook shot.
Rebound by...
There's 3 seconds. 2. And the timeout is called by St. Francis.
A win for the Mastodons.
IPFW is up
A
92
win for the
91.
Mastodons. I think St. Francis was, I don't know what they wanted. A
Timeout or a foul?
Call a foul. Okay.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that
Well, 2
shot.
seconds left on the clock. That's better for St. Francis. And the
Schwartz
clock
taking
running
that.
out. Okay, now the Mastodons are sending 3 people deep.
Schwartz taking that.
One-on-one. 2 seconds left. Mastodons with a 1-point lead. Scott Reed shooting 1. He
And
makes it.
ends it.
He makes
my
it.
Goodness. We've got 2 seconds
Okay,
left.
now St. Francis can take a desperation shot here, remember? And that would be a 3-point play.
Coach Holstein is calling for a timeout, and he gets it.
Well, the
IPFW crowd on their
Mastodons,
feet.
in an exciting ball game, are up by 2, 93-91 in overtime with 2 seconds left. St. Francis calls a timeout to map their strategy in relationship to if the ball doesn't go in on the second part of the one-on-one, what they can do, which is almost one shot, long shot down off the rebound's about it.
Right.
But if they put it in, what to do on the out-of-bounds play, and they must go for a 3-point play.
Oh, you know, Phil, I can't believe that Coach Holstein wanted that type of shot there that Schwartz took. He's taken 3 or 4 of those wild hook shots, and not one of them has even come close. I'm not taking away from Mark Shore, but I just don't think that was the kind of shot they were looking for.
Well, I think at the time, Mike.
Of course, they did have to take a shot. You're right. with the time
He's only got a
shot
couple
clock going
seconds at the most on the time in the game, as well as in the.
But I think he would have been much better around.
Yeah, the 45-second clock was 2
around to the
seconds.
basket and taking the shot.
Was going to run out before the game was, so he took it just about. He had about 1 more second, but he didn't have much time. But I agree with you.
Got a better chance of drawing the foul.
In retrospect, if he maybe turned instead of taking a hook and just went up straight with it.
Right. He had a much better chance of drawing a foul as well. Here's Scott Reed for the second free throw.
Well, it'd be nice if you could make this in case they did make a desperation shot. They still have a tie and they're going to the second overtime.
A three-pointer can either tie it or win it if he makes this. Look at it that way.
Well, remember, Ivy needed that 1 point, or they would have beat us on that 3-point play in regulation.
Right.
He's got it, so the worst we're going to get is another overtime. They've got 2 seconds.
Free throw by Scott Reed. We're going to go for it all there. And a steal by Charles Washington.
Mastodons
The
win.
game is over.
Mastodons win, 94-91. Championship game won by the Mastodons in a thrilling game against St. Francis. The IPFW tip-off tourney, sponsored by Windsor Builders Incorporated, goes to a courageous IPFW team who played a equally courageous St. Francis ball club.
Sure, that was
excellent ball game. They're going to be handing out trophies in a second here, and we'll stay with them for a few minutes here. We'll summarize the scoring for you, the unofficial scoring. What do you think, Mike? What do you got to say for yourself now?
Well, I'm worn out. I don't have anything more to say. I've just about spent every word I had ready for tonight, but I'll tell you, this is Fort Wayne basketball at its best. And like I said before, the only thing missing is you. If you're interested in seeing a good ball game, and good ball games year in and year out, this Great Lake Valley Conference, even though St. Francis is not a part of that, has got the top. Now we're getting into the awards.
Scott Reed was put on the all-tournament team. You might call these out.
Richard Ivey has been voted to the all-tournament team. Mike West from Lake Superior State has been voted on the all-tournament team. And his coach is going to come pick that up for him. From Rosary College, Marty Blazik, who had 26 points last night against the Mastodons. And for IPFW, Bruce Irwin is voted to the all-tournament team, and well-deserved. And the most valuable player, Matt Hicks, and I can't disagree with that. I think Matt Hicks deserved that all the way.
I've unofficially got him for 29 points in the game here.
Well, he's kept his ball club in the game. He's a clutch player. He's strong inside, and he gets the buckets when they need him. Just an all-around clutch player.
St. Francis gets the runner-up trophy, as you can see, and the championship trophy for the IPFW tip-off tourney. And the Thundering Herd is a new name that they've given themselves. The Mastodons win their own tourney in a real close game, 94-91, and they hold the trophy up high.
That's a great sight. You look at the smiles on their faces, and they're just thrilled to pieces to.
Here's the unofficial scoring. I'll give you that before we cut off here. For St. Francis, who was the runner-up in this tourney, the unofficial scoring, Jeff Weber has 10 points, Matt Hicks 29 points for a high, and earned him the most valuable player trophy for the tournament. Tom Schmidt had 18 points, Mark Schroyer 2, Stan Snipes 18, John Hicks 6, Kevin James 2, and Claire Knapp 4 for a total of 91 points. And for the winning Mastodons, unofficially the scoring went Scott Reed with 13, Jim Moreland with 15, Bruce Irwin with 19, Richard Ivey 20, Marshall 11, Washington 11, Pollard 4 points. Well, what do you got to say for yourself, Michael?
Well, I surely enjoyed it, Phil, and I sure hope to do it again, but I'd like to be prepared for this type of game next time. Boy, I'll tell you, this is basketball at its best, and my heart never stopped beating the whole time.
Right, and it was a real thrilling game, and we encourage all of you to come out and see a game live here at the IPFW multi-purpose building. And I think we can just wrap it up here, right? This is Phil Kennel and Mike Neely live from the Mastodon great win in their own tournament, 94-91. Good evening.
Hey, that was great. Yeah, I think we did a great job.
I do too.